Right now, let's talk with conservative Generation Z contributor for Turning Point USA, Morgan McMichael. Morgan, welcome back to Victory News.
Thank you guys for having me on again.
Morgan, are you surprised that Planned Parenthood would recruit paid staff to solicit signatures for pro-abortion legislation in other states?
Absolutely not. This is not shocking at all. Ever since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, we have seen more of this happening. I live in Texas. That's where my family is from. And I'll be walking down South Congress Avenue, and these same people that work for Planned Parenthood will be there promoting Planned Parenthood, promoting abortions. They have petitions. So seeing that there are other people now being hired from out of state working to try and pass this pro-abortion legislation is not a shock to me at all. And it just proves that the pro-life side needs to be working that much harder to encourage women to go to pregnancy resource centers and really put out factual information of what's going on in our country.
And Morgan, you heard how Congressman Steve Daines of Montana is fighting to stop taxpayer funding of drag queen events on military bases. What do you think is driving drag queen activities into the military and our public schools as well as libraries?
It's absolutely insane that we're in 2023 and we're having to talk about drag queens exposing themselves to children, and now it's even infiltrating our military bases. I don't know if you guys have seen, but the Navy has now hired a drag queen who is a sailor to perform on the ships, and hoping that this is going to drive up recruitment numbers because the Navy is down their recruitment about 16%. They need about 6,000 more soldiers to serve in the U.S. Navy. So they're hiring drag queens now to try and drive up recruitment. And I'm not really sure how drag queens are really going to fight on the front lines and are really putting the pressure against China, Russia, or any other type of country. So to me, this is, again, not a surprise, but needs to be stopped because drag queens and frontline workers don't really correlate to me, and honestly it's just happening more and more in our school board systems. It's happening at these drag queen story hours, and these kids are being exposed to inappropriate material at such young ages.
Certainly makes you wonder what is going on. Well, Fox News is reporting that the Border Patrol has dealt with 10,000 illegal immigrants trying to enter the U.S. on both Monday and Tuesday of this week, so 10,000 per day. When Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked what Joe Biden is doing about the border crisis, she said this.
So the president has been closely consulting with the vice president on this. They have had several conversations on this issue. And so again, when it comes to issues that matter to the American people, they're very much partners.
So the border czar is back, according to KJP. Does this give you any hope or confidence that the southern border will be secured before, of course, Title 42 is lifted tomorrow at midnight?
Absolutely not. There are hundreds of thousands of migrants waiting outside of our southern border right now to come into the United States. And on top of that, there's nothing that's being done to help the southern border. The federal government only sent 1,500 troops, whereas the Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he had to instill his own National Guard of 10,000 to go and help at the southern border. So we're seeing this influx of migration because of Title 42 being lifted out. And it's really, it's a disaster, and it is a literal invasion happening at our southern border, and the federal government seems to be not wanting to do anything about it other than use our tax dollars to fund these illegal immigrants.
A disaster in the making, it appears to be. New York Times op-ed writer Elizabeth Spears said subway riders who want to be safe from crime and fear, half-naked lunatics, must dismiss these imaginary monsters or seek therapy. What's your reaction to her take, Morgan?
That's just ridiculous. We should be able to ride public transportation if need be. The New York subways are used by every person, no matter what social or economic class you're in. But this is just ridiculous. You shouldn't be fearing your life or fearing being beat up or looted or anything while riding on a subway. New York Police Department really needs to do something about this. The government needs to do something about this to keep our citizens safe.
No doubt. And NBC host Brian Stelter lamented Tucker Carlson going to Twitter with a new show. Listen to this.
Will anybody be able to police what Carlson says, or is this the point? It's just a free-for-all.
I think this is the point. It is a free-for-all. It's what Elon Musk wants to provide. This move by Tucker may cement the idea of Twitter as a right-wing website.
So those two journalists want another journalist's speech policed. Decided Twitter is now, of course, a right-wing website. Are these two just haters of Carlson and even Elon Musk?
I think they're just free speech haters in general, because I don't know how you can be a journalist and not stand for free speech and wanting to be able to present both sides of the argument. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. I actually think this is a huge win for Elon, a huge win for Twitter and Tucker, seeing that his entire audience is now going to be going to a platform that actually encourages free speech. So I'm very excited to see what Tucker Carlson has in store for us all on Twitter.
Ditto on that. Now, thank you, Morgan, for taking the time to share your thoughts with Victory News.
Thank you so much.
All right.